What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 67 of the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. On this episode, we are talking Superman movie, Unending Dawn, and the Elden Ring movie.
I put my hands up on your hip.
When you dip, I dip. You put my hands up. I don't know the rest. I don't know the name. I don't know the artist.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
When I dip, you dip. Doop a doop a doop. Boop a doop. Okay.
Roll intro.
Roll intro. That's it. That's it.
That's the greatest intro we've ever had. I love that so much. Adam, what is up, man? How are you, bud, dude? How was your week?
Oh, the week was great. I just want to say, we are big fat liars.
Why? What happened?
You know, last episode we said, you know what, we're back and we're better than ever, right?
Right.
Well, we lied and said we were going to go every other week, and Adam's like, let's take a vacation, and ruin that right off the bat. So I apologize to all the listeners. It was my fault. We skipped a week. I decided to take a 7-day vacation on our recording week, and so we weren't able to put it out. But the vacation was good. It got out to New York / Connecticut. It was a good time.
Did Adam reach out to his best buddy in New York and say, yo, let's go get some chopped cheese or something? You know what I mean? Anything like that? No, he didn't do any of that. Didn't even know he was here.
Okay, Dave, you live 6 hours away from New York City. You wanna, and also, I have a little 4-year-old, right? Have you ever taken a 4-year-old to New York City?
No.
It's awful, okay?
I mean, you chose this. You
did.
chose this life, Adam.
I did. Okay, I can't say it's awful. He did. Okay, one thing about my son is he's very energetic and very like charismatic and really likes to meet people, pet dogs and all that. You can't do that in New York City, right?
No, you probably just better keep to yourself in New York City.
So it took him a while to learn that, and I will say I'm very proud of him. His little legs walked 6 miles.
6 miles?
Yeah, with his little 4-year-old legs. There's a couple moments I did carry him, but for the most part, he got more steps in than I did. I got like 16,000. I think he got like probably double that with just how little his legs are.
I don't know if I could walk 6 miles.
He was cruising.
Well done, buddy.
Yeah.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
And we got to, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Bluey. Have you heard of Bluey? Like the little Australian doggies, like cartoon?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, we went and saw Bluey's house, Bluey and Bingo's house, and he loved that. And other than that, we did a lot of nothing. I love vacation to do nothing. You know?
Vacation really needs to be about nothing.
Yeah, I'm not one of those planners where...
Oh, no.
Where you, like, every minute is detailed and planned. Nope, I go there, I'm like, what do you want to do today? I don't know, what do you want to do? And then we just sit there and not do anything all day, which is completely fine.
I like having like a few things like on the docket, but like mentally on the docket, you know, like, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this, but like not really be like, we have to do this on Tuesday at 3:05 p.m. or else the whole vacation's ruined. Like that's not vacation. That's stressful.
I don't think I'll ever go to Disney. I don't think I'll ever do it just because of like, I don't want to have to plan every minute of the day and like, okay, we have to hit this park, this part, this part by the end of the trip, and we have to schedule, okay, this is when this part's busy. No, thanks. I'm going to roll up to my cabin and just sit there and be like, I'm just relaxing and I don't want to do nothing.
I think it's all perspective though, right?
Yeah.
Because like if you go with the perspective of saying like, oh, I'm probably not going to see everything that this park has to offer, but I'm just going to go have a good time and kind of do what I can do, I think you're probably fine with it. If you're one of those people that's like, I need to experience everything that they have right now and like make it super structured, you're probably not going to have a great time. But I don't know. I don't know. Some people like that rigid structure though.
I will say one thing that I missed while I was on vacation, games. Felt like I didn't get to play anything. I played a little bit of Mario Kart and Clark's Switch and things like that, but I was like, man, I just want to sit back down at my computer and just play games. I want to get back into, I played the finals. Remember that?
Okay.
Like free to play, like first person shooter. They're making Arc Raiders. Yeah, Arc Raiders. They're making Arc Raiders and did really well. And so I got back into that with one of my streaming friends, and I really enjoy it. And then I played Firebreak or FBC Firebreak. Have a review on that.
Not a glowing one. It wasn't a glowing review, guys. It wasn't terrible though either.
I put it in the playable section. It's a game that I think if you're a fan of Control, it's a game to give a shot. And I mean, it's on Game Pass, so if you want to play it and you have Game Pass, like you're not out any extra money. So give it a shot in that sense. I just felt like the enemies are kind of meh, and the gameplay mechanics of like the shooting and things like that was just so flat. And I know
Yeah.
the developers have come out and said, we're going to fix it. We're going to add some stuff, but it wasn't good enough for the review. So that's what I've been doing. Dave, what about you?
I'm gonna be honest, dude. Just kind of like chill gaming. I haven't been really playing like a lot of like story mode. You know what I mean? Like I haven't gone through a game. I just been like kind of grinding on DBD, Demonologist, stuff like that. DBD's doing its Masquerade Ball thing right now, which is kind of cool. But yeah, just been kind of grinding some DBD.
I feel like that's where I'm at too. Just finding what floats my boat and I play it.
I will say one thing though. DBD came out with a new killer. They did Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's. I hate that killer.
Oh yeah.
I'm in this like weird boat of like anytime DBD drops a new killer, I'm kind of already just scared and disappointed because I'm gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Like the last one was this weird one where he can like slingshot forward and like has tentacles that can grab. There's like too many when they put out these killers, they're like too OP off the front. You know what I mean? Like off the get-go, they're too crazy, and it makes the experience just not fun.
I think game developers do that on purpose because you have to pay for these characters, correct? You can't just play them.
You do have to pay for them, yeah.
Exactly. So when the character becomes the meta, like, oh, we'll get people to buy it because it's OP. And
You think they do that on purpose?
oh,
They make them OP?
1000% they make these characters OP. It's like Call of Duty. They make the guns OP. That's what
Right.
they do. They make these guns and characters OP. Make them the meta, so you have to buy them to compete with everybody else.
And then when they feel like they've gotten enough sales out of it, they nerf it.
And then they balance it. Not so much nerf it. They're like, okay, let's make it equal. And then let's bring out the next character and make that one OP.
The thing about it though is like, okay, the killer before that was still kind of fun, right? And now when I play against the killer before that, I do kind of have fun because like I don't know, it's a different aspect, right? Like DBD is basically a game of tag. You know what I mean? Like you're just running around and like you're being chased, you're trying to fix Jenny's, you know what I mean? Like it's just fun to get chased, right? And the whole idea behind Five Nights at Freddy's is the cameras, right? So this killer, you just look at the cameras and you can see where everybody is. And then there's like 7 doors throughout the map and you can just pop out of a door and you're right there. So it like eliminates the whole idea of the chase. And the way that these doors are positioned, they're positioned in the most key spots all the time. There's always a door right next to a Jenny. Like there's always a door right next to a hook. It's like, there's zero chase. There's literally zero chase. Like I'll be working on a Jenny and all of a sudden he just like pops out and grabs me from a door. And I'm like, dude, I didn't get a terror radius. Like I didn't get a heartbeat. I didn't get to run. Like I didn't get to do anything. It's just, oh, I got. And
Hello.
like, yeah. And it's
Surprise.
like, yeah. And it's like, that's not the point of the game. That's not the point of the game. I did not have fun with that. So yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, does not belong in DBD, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a weird character to be putting in.
Sorry if you guys are Five Nights at Freddy's fans, but yeah, not digging it. He can get out of DBD.
You can get got. Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, get out of here, Freddy.
Speaking of which, I think they're coming out with a second movie.
Are they?
I think so. Let me do a little quick googly search here, and I'm pretty sure.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think the first movie did surprisingly well compared to what people thought it was going to do.
Yeah,
I think people thought that like only fans of the movie would be really excited about it, and
or the game, you mean?
Yeah, fans of the game would be really excited about it, and that's not 100% not true. I mean, the fans really did kind of drive, the traffic to it, but I think just kind of like casual horror fans also really got behind it too, just because I think the idea of animatronics is like kind of scary, and I think it lends well to the horror genre.
I didn't know that was really a fear. Like I didn't realize people were afraid of animatronics. My cousin is somebody that is completely afraid of those things. I'm like, I had no idea that was a scary thing. But the movie comes out December 5th, 2025, so this year.
December 5th, 2025.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, They did well enough to have another movie. Did you watch the first one
I did watch the first one.
and you liked it?
I didn't think it was anything special. I didn't think it was bad either. I think it's a good rental. If you're a fan of horror, or if you're a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, it's a good movie to just kind of chill out and watch. I wouldn't necessarily say that I would watch it again. Maybe if somebody hasn't seen it and they want to see it, like I'll watch it with them. But at this point, I enjoyed the movie, but I'm never going back. There's never going to be a time where I'm like, oh, I want to watch the Five Nights at Freddy movie. You know? Yeah. But I'll check out two.
I didn't see the first one. I'm not a huge horror movie fan. So
I know you're not.
I will say there's a movie that that I'm interested in that is a horror movie. It's See No Evil, maybe? See No Evil. Oh yeah. So it's basically like this couple's on vacation and this family invites them to their house, and it has who does it have? Oh, or is it a TV show? It's Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil.
Speak No Evil.
Yeah, it's got the character. I think he played. Oh, here we go. Here's the cast. Speak No Evil. It's basically a family, like, it gets this family to come to their house, and he's like really creepy and weird and stuff like that. But it has James McAvoy.
If I saw a picture of him, I'd know him exactly who he is.
Here, I'll show you a quick picture. That guy.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. So I watched the trailer of it, and I was like, this is a scary movie. I think I kind of want to watch. So this might be one I'm gonna see. And
let's go.
But
Adam's diving into the horror genre, guys.
I might a little bit.
Let's go.
Bit. But other than that, I've been watching other movies. I'm going to see F1 tomorrow, which has been glowing reviews. So I'm excited to see that one tomorrow. Jurassic World is also coming out.
Yep.
And then next week, Superman movie.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your kind of initial thoughts, Dave? I have a few things that I have thought about this movie, and I want to get excited. I want to get excited for all these Marvel movies. I want to get excited for all these DC movies, all of them above. But I have something I want to kind of talk about, and we've kind of talked about this in the past with other things. But what are your initial thoughts?
This is gonna sound real bad, but I just don't care. Like at this point, I just don't care, and I think the reasoning behind it is a few things, and I don't know what you want to jump in and what you want to talk about, but like, I don't know. I think first things first is when I watch the trailer, I'm very confused in the sense of where DC is still going, right? Because when they initially talked about this, they're doing like a rebirth, right? They're bringing on James Gunn. They're revamping all of the new franchises, right? And then I look at this trailer and I'm like, this is not the origin story of Superman. Like, why are they starting at this point? They're starting so far into the career of Superman. Like, if you watch the trailer, you see Lex Luthor, like you see appearances of Crypto. Dude, Crypto should not even be close to being in an origin story. You know what I mean? And it's like, I still don't understand what they're doing, because they came out and they said, we're going to start over. We're going to revamp it. We're going to do all the characters justice. We're going to do it right. And then they immediately jump into like volume 13 of the Superman comic.
Do you think it's kind of one of those things that the story's been beaten before? So like, okay, we're going to make it our own kind of story now. Because this Superman story's been done time and time again, kind of like Batman. It's been done time and time again. So you think they're just skipping the origin part and just going straight to the juicy parts of the Superman story?
But I don't think, I think that's the wrong move. Yeah. I think no matter what you do here, right, the Superman story has been beaten to death.
Right.
It's been every single thing about Superman has been beaten to death. You know, because it's just such an old, iconic franchise, and it's been done over and over and over so many times that it's like, I don't know, the whole thing has been beaten to death, right? Yeah. So if you're going to tell me that you want to revamp the franchises, like every single one of them, you want to do a revamp, you want to do it over, you want to do the characters justice, I want to see your interpretation of the origin, right? Because this doesn't feel new to me, right? It doesn't feel like they're revamping a series. Right. I feel like this is supposed to be like their initial, like, we're doing everything brand new, and I still feel like I'm jumping into like Superman Part 4 right now. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of with you, to be honest.
You feel that?
And that's kind of where I was gonna take it a little bit. I think it's not so much what they're doing specifically. I think it's, and this is what I've been thinking about all week before like talking about this movie and just superhero movies in general. I think it's superhero fatigue. You know what I mean? I think we might be in
Um,
this state of like, it's just another superhero movie and it's the same formula. You know what I mean? Like they have this setup. Oh, it's one big bad guy, this epic battle in the end, it's over. And it's the same story of superheroes every single movie. And I think that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just getting fatigue of these like superhero movies. And I will say, watching the trailer, I think the cinematics of this movie are going to be really good. I think it's going to have
agreed.
really really good special effects and
Agreed.
just visuals in general. But in terms of storyline, it's just going to be the same old storyline that's in every single one of these superhero movies, and same old, same old, same old. And that's kind of where I'm at with these. It's just I'm getting the same thing every time we watch these movies now.
I think I have a theory behind why you're getting fatigue on it because like we talked about, this is supposed to be a revamp for DC, right? It's supposed to feel fresh, it's supposed to feel new, you're supposed to feel excited about it. But I think if you watch that trailer, the number one thing that I kind of took away from it was James Gunn's influence on these franchises. It feels as though he has a very specific style, and I had the idea of like when he left Marvel and came to DC, because typically DC comics are much darker than Marvel. Marvel is always been a little bit more campy, a little bit more fun. DC has always kind of been, the dark horse, for lack of better words, right? They've always been a little darker, a little more moody, a little bit more, evil and scary. You know what I mean? And he had the opportunity to kind of like do that. But if you watch the trailer, I feel like I'm watching Superman in a Marvel movie. It feels like a Marvel movie.
I was thinking the same exact thing. Like if it seems really light and hearted or lighthearted, um, and just no like feeling of that we get with Dark Knight and with the Batman with Robert Pattinson. I didn't feel like that grittiness of it.
The DC grittiness, it's not there. He took the DC characters and made them into the campy Marvel versions. And I could see why he did it, because he had so much success with the Marvel movies, but like the DC fans don't want that. That's why they like DC. It's darker, and I think that just got kind of thrown out the window.
And looking at Superman himself, talking about campiness, I don't understand. Like this guy's skinny. This character, he's not like a jack Superman. I don't know. I never really read the comics, so I can't like speak on that. But like every other iteration I've like seen of Superman that I've come to know is like he's this big jacked, ripped dude that will just tear everything apart. He looks kind of scrawny and weak.
Character design, I mean, I don't know. I was sad to see Henry Cavill go. I thought he was a great Superman. I thought he was great. I thought he was a great Superman. I thought he was a Clark Kent. Not to say anything bad about this guy. I mean, it looks like he's playing the part the way that he needs to play the part. I don't know. I just think the overall aesthetic. I think maybe like the feel of Superman, maybe you're just not super on board with it just because the overall aesthetic of the movie just isn't right.
But yeah, like you said, I don't think like David Corson Cornsweat. I don't know.
I'm
Corn
glad.
sweat.
I'm glad you to say
David.
the name. Thank you. I
I'm
appreciate
gonna
you.
say David.
I appreciate you, bro.
I think he's gonna play the part well, given
Yeah.
what he's like, how the movie's supposed to be portrayed. I think he's gonna do well in that sense. And
Yeah.
I really like Nicholas Holt as Lex Luthor. I think he looks like he's gonna play it pretty good. Again,
Yeah.
a little bit more campy, lighthearted,
Yeah.
but just kind of from what I've seen, I think it looks really good. And man, I love I'm gonna blank out his last name. I love Nathan. What's his last name? Fillion. Nathan. Yeah, Nathan Fillion. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
He's in The Rookie and he's in a couple other things.
Yeah.
He's in a couple Marvel's movies, Guardians of the Galaxy, I think specifically the third one.
Yeah.
But I think I have low expectations for this movie because of how fatigued I think I am of all these superhero movies writing the same formula, and the fact that James Gunn is bringing that same kind of feel as Guardians over. And I want this to be successful. I want DC to turn around and give Marvel a run for their money, but at the same time, I just don't expect it to be something refreshed and feel extremely new.
I think I think this movie is actually going to be very successful. And I think the reasoning behind it is just all the hype around it. I think people are going to go see the movie. And I think the trailer did a good enough job to get butts in seats for people to at least be interested enough to want to check it out. I want to check it out. I want to see what he does. You know what I mean? Because it's for the first real attempt at revamping a franchise. I'm keeping expectations low as well. You know, going back to the Marvel thing, if you got, you know, honestly, if you kind of look around, do a little bit of digging, if you look at the cast, you can already see that they've casted a Green Lantern, a Hawk Girl, a Supergirl, and of course, Crypto's in the movie. I feel like it's gonna have that Marvel flow where they just kind of throw a bunch of characters and stuff at you and just hope that you latch on to like one specific part of it instead of the whole movie as a whole. Which is sad, but I don't know. For the grand scheme of things, I feel like it's going to probably be the most successful DC movie in a very, very long time. Yeah.
Do you think this movie is going to be better than like Batman versus Superman and then the Superman with Henry Cavill?
I think it's well, Batman versus Superman is easy.
Okay. Well, how about this? Quality wise, you think it's going to be a better movie than the first Henry Cavill Superman?
Oh, that's a tough call, dude. That's a tough call. I think if you are more interested in the CGI fighting aspects of the movie, gonna be a better movie than the Henry Cavill. But I think if you're more interested in the actual story of Superman, I think the Henry Cavill movie is probably gonna be better.
Okay.
James Gunn doesn't really lean heavy on story.
Yeah.
He's like the Michael Bay of comic books. You know, it's a lot of like explosions and blowing and, you know, blow stuff up and let's throw a million characters at you. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, the story gets lost a little bit. And I think, like I said, I think this is going to be a very successful movie. I want it to do well. I want DC to do well because I am a DC fan. I'm also kind of afraid that like if this movie does well, which I think it's going to do, I fear for the other franchises that I really love. Because I just don't know if they're going to be able to do a Batman. I just don't know if they're going to be able to do a Flash. Or if they're going to be able to do like a John Constantine or something. Like, I just don't know if they're going to be able to tap into that like kind of darker side. And I don't want to see campy Batman. You know what I mean? I don't want to see campy John Constantine. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want that. Yeah.
So each Superman movie had the same exact budget, like 225 million. So I was like wondering, okay, I wonder which is going to have a higher budget. But I definitely agree with you. I think if you're looking for more of that like action and explosion, I think that this one's going to have a bit better feel than the Henry Cavill Superman. But story-wise, I don't think it's going to have as much depth as the first Superman or the Henry Cavill Superman. Granted, was it my favorite movie back in the day? Man of Steel is the name that they went with it back then. I don't think it's going to be story-wise as good, but that's not to say that it's not going to be a fun. I think it's going to be a fun watch. Is it going to be better than Dune to me? Yes, it is. People in the comments on TikTok.
Adam's real salty on the Dune comment.
It was just so funny, but no, it's because the large explosions. But overall, I'm going to give this movie a fighting shot. And I think, like you said, a lot of people are the trailers got their butts in the seats. Let's see if they can hold on to that, spark and that hype around it throughout the whole movie and the revamp of the DCEU. So.
Yeah, but I'm excited to see what he does. I wish it nothing but the best. I'm keeping my expectations low. I kind of have my ideas kind of loaded here on what I think I'm going to see when I see it. So I won't be too disappointed if that's exactly what I see. I do think it's going to be fun. There's going to be fun parts in the movie without a doubt. We saw a lot of really cool stuff in the trailer action-wise. There's going to be tons of action. And I think if you're just going for something visual, you want to have a good time. You want to, watch Superman fly around and laser eyes and punch a bunch of stuff and lift up buildings and, throw airplanes and stuff. Like, you're going to get it. So if that's what you're looking for, check it out. But I'm definitely going to check it out. And then I'm just going to quietly sit and pray that no one touches Batman.
It's going to be touched.
I don't want it touched.
Okay, here's another random question. Do you think they need to move on from Superman and Batman? Like, obviously, it's the most beloved characters in DC, and you could say that about Spider-Man and Marvel and things like that. But do you think they need to bring out some more of these more different characters? How they did with Blue Beetle, which I thought Blue Beetle movie was okay compared to some of the other DC movies. The Flash was garbage with Ezra Miller, but I think that Blue Beetle one was okay. It wasn't definitely not the best, but it definitely wasn't the worst DC movie.
I think there's specific story arcs that you can kind of introduce these characters to fans in the context of using your home run hitters like Superman, Batman, you know what I mean? Like there's story arcs that you can bring other characters in. I think I think when you look at how Marvel did it, I think they did it right, leaning heavy on Iron Man, obviously Avengers, stuff like that.
Mhm.
They leaned on the heavy hitters, and that kind of allowed them to open the doors to bring in these lesser known
Like Guardians of the
characters like
Galaxy and
Guardians
yeah,
and
okay.
stuff like that, right? So I think DC needs to do the same thing. I think they're doing it the right way, right? Because you don't want to say, we're launching a brand new series, and then, you end up with a $225 million Blue Beetle movie. You know what I mean? Like that's not gonna work for you guys. So
That
like
makes sense. So you need the movie to kind of set the stage for and paint the picture to get in love with these other types of characters rather than like you said this big Blue Beetle movie that it was introduced on its own, not by with other big characters.
right. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you need to build trust, right? Like
Mhm.
you need to build trust that like you put out 5 movies and people really love them and they're kind of big things, right?
Mhm.
Now people trust you when you say there's a Deathstroke movie coming out because people don't know who Deathstroke is,
Right.
right? But the history says that it's going to be a good movie. In the grand scheme of things, it's going to be
Right.
a good movie.
If
You know what
this
I
one
mean?
does well, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're doing it right. Yeah.
All right, I was just curious on what your thoughts were on that. So, but all right, comes out next week. No, 2 weeks, July 11th.
July
Well,
11th.
by the time this is released, it will be the next week, so 1 week away. So
Let's just go with July 11th.
July 11th. I don't know why I'm saying weeks.
Superman hits theaters July 11th. We are not sponsored unless
Which
you want to sponsor us, DC.
which I'll be in the theater watching it because I still got my movie pass, seeing 4 movies a week.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited that you're keeping this up.
I'm keeping the theater alive. Okay. I do not want to see the movie theater die.
Adam is single-handedly keeping all movie theaters alive in
I sure
every
hope
city
I
that he
am.
goes to.
I love the movie theater, and I wish that more people did. And I wish that the movies didn't come out on streaming services so quick.
I'm sorry.
It's like you in physical media. You don't want that to die. I don't want movie theaters to die.
I hope they stay alive for you, buddy.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what about it, but there's nothing better than going up to the concession stands, getting a big old popcorn and icy, all by yourself in the movie theater, and enjoying a really good movie.
I love this for you.
It's gonna
I hope they stay alive.
movie fans, do not let the movie theater die, please.
I hope they stay alive until you're like 90, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you.
Yeah.
Oh, well. All right. You think this movie's going to be pretty good?
I think it's gonna be okay.
If you had to blind rank it, do you think you would put it in a number 1 spot?
Probably not.
All right. Well, we're going to blind rank and we're not going to do it for this movie. So we're going to find out right now. Okay. So right now we are going to do a blind ranking of random DC movies. Adam, are you ready?
Ooh, yeah, hit me.
Adam, your first movie is Suicide Squad. Oh, you have 5, by the way.
Five
Yeah.
movies. Okay.
Okay. Your first movie is Suicide Squad, number 1, 2016.
I think I might upset some people. Deadshot is one of my favorite characters in the DC verse. So,
I want you to think about this.
and I like Harley Quinn. Like she's
I want you
cool.
to think about this.
Margot Robbie's a good Harley Quinn. I'm putting it at 3.
all that, and you mid tier it. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm putting it right in the middle. I think that you gave me some good movies on the list. And as much as I liked Suicide Squad, I know the majority of people are like, that movie's garbage. And yeah, the enemies and Amanda Waller, yeah, it was kind of garbage. But the actors that played them, I liked. Like I like Will Smith. I like Margot Robbie. So
Comfortably at 3. All right, next up, you got Wonder Woman, 2017's Wonder Woman.
Dang it. Maybe I should have put Suicide at 4. Suicide Squad at 4. Gal Gadot is so cool. Is it Gal Gadot or Godet?
We had this conversation before.
Is it Gal Gadot?
I think it's Godet.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it at 4.
Suicide?
I'm putting Suicide Squad above it because there was an accident, but I don't think Wonder Woman deserves to be 2. So I'm putting it at 4.
You did my girl dirty.
I know. She's so cool.
She's dope.
Womp, all right, forget it. Nope, I already said it. I can't.
No changing. All right, next up, you have Aquaman, the OG 2018 Aquaman. Immediate 5.
Yeah, I did not like Aquaman. I like Aquaman as a character. I did not like the movie Aquaman. Jason Momoa did okay, but it's definitely better than Suicide Squad though. So 2. I'm putting it at 2. Aquaman is going at 2. Yeah.
Let's go. Okay. Yeah. Next up on the list, we have The Flash 2023.
Straight to the bottom. Screw Ezra Miller. Yeah, 5. That movie was awful. I did like the Michael Keaton and bringing that back into it. That was fun. But everything else sucked. Ezra Miller is a terrible, terrible Flash.
Okay, well, that makes Adam's number 1 movie. Number 1 DC movie of all time. Adam, what is it?
I don't know.
You know what it is.
The Dark Knight?
Batman vs. Superman, bro.
I hate you.
Did
we just become best friends?
Yup.
No, we didn't. Dang it.
You knew that was going to be on the list.
I did not, Dave. Okay, that's okay.
Don't act like you didn't know that was going to be on the list.
I should have known.
You should have known that was on the list.
So I would put Wonder Woman at 1. Put Aquaman, keep it at 2. Suicide Squad, keep it at 3. Batman vs. Superman at 4, and then The Flash at 5. That's what I really do.
I did him dirty, guys.
You did me dirty.
Yeah, don't beat him up too bad in the comments. I did him dirty.
It's okay. It's
All
okay.
right, moving on.
Let us know in the comments how you would blind rank those DC movies. Hopefully better than I did, and that will bring us to Dave. What are we moving on to?
Dun, 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 Unending Dawn.
Unending Dawn.
Are you excited for this?
Okay, you're gonna have to clear some things up for me. So when I was searching this movie or this game, I was confused because 1, I searched it and it said it came out on April 25th, 2025, but you have assured me that it has not. But when I was looking it up, is this an Android game or iPhone game?
There's a whole bunch going on here.
Okay, I need you to open this box and unpack it for me because I was confused. I will say I watched a trailer of it. It looks pretty cool. It's like a really cool art style, like Sekiro, I'm guessing is where we're going to compare it to.
Yeah, very, very cool game. There's a lot of questions here, right? So Unending Dawn, no, not a mobile game. This is going to be a PS5 exclusive, but has suddenly gotten a PC release. So not sure why they're still calling it a PS5 exclusive. But the thing about the game, dude, is like, first of all, I want to say we haven't heard anything about this game really since last year. So this was August 6th, 2024 was the last time that we've heard anything about this game. And I'm kind of like interested to know what is happening with this game, and I'm kind of calling out to the nerdy community to like, if you have any information, I am dying to know what happened to this game. Essentially what you guys are looking at is there's a lot of Souls-likes, right? We've seen the genre kind of get beat up over and over and over. This is gonna be what they're calling a Sekiro like, which in my opinion is very, very ballsy, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to pull it off. I'll be real honest. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. But at this point, I'm just kind of excited that anybody really has the like guts to kind of try.
I don't know what else to say about it other than that I'm lost on it too. I will say like the art style of the game looks really cool. I like the almost like anime look to it because a lot of these Dark Souls games, they're very... Or not Dark Souls, like just Souls like in general. They're much more darker. And this game, I think, looks dark, but
very dark.
Got like it's got this very campy feel to it and just like brightness. And I like that a lot. You know me, I like bright colors and flashing lights, but in this one, I think that it has a lot of that. and that's why it's piqued my interest a little bit.
Yeah, so the art style behind it is really cool. It's a very anime style, and it's a very hand-drawn style. So the characters and your settings and everything look very hand-drawn. But the thing that's really drawn to me, right, is they have, I don't, which one are we watching? We're watching like a 7-minute
the 7-minute
gameplay trailer. So I watched a few of these. I watched a 7-minute one, a 12-minute one. There was a 17-minute one. I have dissected this combat system for a very long time. And I think in the grand scheme of things, from what I can tell, I feel like they really nailed the combat system in Sekiro. And for me, that's like the biggest thing. I know we talk about it all the time, but like Sekiro to me is a perfect game. Like in the sense of like being able to control your character, have your character move within the environment, have enemies that are interacting with you in very specific ways. I think that Sekiro really kind of perfected a combat system and a game. Like when I'm playing Sekiro and I die, there is never a moment in my mind where I'm like, this game is messed up, the hitbox didn't work right, like the command wasn't fast enough. You know, like I'm never blaming the game. I'm always blaming myself because the game controls perfectly. In dissecting this combat system, I feel like you're gonna get that same feel, which outside of Sekiro, I've never really felt that before. I mean, a lot, pretty close with like DS3, but it's still a little janky at some points. But yeah, I don't know, dude. I just feel like taking on this challenge and like actually making it look as though they've done it is something that's needs to be talked about more. Like it's really just a very interesting way to say, like, I don't know. It's almost like trying to like, it's an untouchable. Like Sekiro is an untouchable, but I think they touched it, and I think they did okay, from what I can see at least.
Do you, from the little I know of Sekiro and just Souls in general, do you think that the combat looks a little bit more like fast paced than Sekiro? You know what I mean? Like it feels like you can hit a few more times and then get out, or is it still about the same speed as Sekiro would be?
It's pretty, to me, it looks pretty much the same speed. Now, it kind of there's elements to it, right? So, like, if I had to really kind of break this down, I'd say 60% Sekiro, like 10% Elden Ring, and like maybe 30% Genshin. Like, it's a mix. It does feel faster. It does look like, you know, you're doing more things than you would typically be able to do in Sekiro. Like, we're seeing the character go airborne and stuff like that. Like, that's not typically the fighting style of Sekiro. But in the grand scheme of things, like just looking at the combat system itself, the iframes look good. Like the way that the boss interacts, like the way that you're dodging, the way that you are, you know, being able to, it feels like you're able to make the character do what you want to do at all times. And for a game like this that should be so brutally hard, I think you really need that.
And then I don't know, what is that like the top bar on the like the bar below the health against the enemy in your bar?
So this is why Sekiro, this is where it's drawing the inspiration, right? So when you're fighting an enemy in Sekiro, you have two bars. One's a health bar, one's a posture bar, right?
Okay.
And the way that you can kind of defeat enemies, you can either grind out health or you can break their posture. So if you break their posture, doesn't matter how much health they got left. You broke their posture, you get a kill shot on them, they're dead.
Right.
And the way that you do that is you are basically attacking. It's hard to explain. You're
it basically knocking them on like off their balance, basically?
It's rewarding you for not running away. And that's the biggest thing is games like this, they don't want you to run. They want you to stand there and fight. And I think when you look at a game like Sekiro, people have the hardest time with that is just standing in and accepting the fact that you're probably going to die. But in order to do what you need to do, you just need to stand there and be hyper aggressive. You cannot quit. You know what I mean? And I love that feeling that game gives you. You have to stand in there and you have to fight and you can't back down and you have to keep going. And when you're doing specific hits or you're blocking or you're parrying attacks or you're doing certain things, you're building that posture bar up. And it's because you're being so hyper aggressive on the enemy. At some point, it's almost like they just can't take it anymore. And they just get like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they just kind of flop, right? So you can play the game certain ways, you can run around, you can try to tank out health, but like really the way that you play the game is just stand there and be hyper aggressive. And in order to do that, you need a really good combat system. And it looks like this game is kind of bringing both of those things together the way that Sekiro did. And I'm super excited for it because I haven't had a game like Sekiro since Sekiro.
And there's no release date on this yet. Like you said, it's kind of fallen off of this, or just fallen out of the wayside, and people aren't really talking about this game anymore. Do you think that's the developer issue, or they're not releasing more on it?
I don't know, dude. Like, honestly, that's the thing that I wanted to bring to the show too, because I was like, this game, there, if you look at these gameplay trailers and you look at, you know, everything that we're seeing, we're looking at this like, oh, you know, like here's the 17-minute gameplay trailer and stuff, and it's like, dude, where is this game? We haven't heard it. Like, they were so far along in development, and now it's just nothing.
Weird.
And I just don't understand where it is, what happened. I can't find anything on it. So I'm calling out to the nerdy community.
So from what I'm seeing is that this game is also a mobile game.
It is a mobile game.
I just pull up this other website here, and it's saying that it is a mobile game. So does this look like it? This is it, right?
It looks like it.
Yeah, this is on Gamer Tweak, so I don't know how accurate it is, but they're looking for a release date. It says right here that there's no official release date for Unending Dawn, but will most likely release on Android, iOS, and PC. Yeah, like you said, hopefully the nerdy community can kind of help us a little bit understand where this game's at. If it is a PC game, a PS5 game, mobile game. I'm just confused as well on like where this game is standing. And to be honest, I hadn't heard about it until we picked it as a topic. So it's just very strange. It's one of those games that they talk about it, but is it actually a real game? But based off the trailer we see, it looks definitely like it should be a real game. It looks good. It looks like it's going to be fun to play, but it's a matter of where is it?
That's the whole thing. That's why I wanted to bring it to the table. Not only to shed some light on the fact that like somebody's trying to do a Sekiro kind of copy, which is just incredible. Like I'm super excited for it, but like the fact that it's so far in development and the last time we heard anything about it was a year ago, and it just kind of went poof off the face of the earth. And like you said, there's, you know, people saying it's a mobile game, it's PS5 exclusive, it's releasing on PC, you can pre-order it, like, but there's no concrete information on whether this game is it a real game? Is it even still a game? Is it still coming out? Did they scrap it? Like, I've just never seen a game so far in development just go poof. And I'm so curious to know what is happening with it, if it's coming, if we're gonna get it. It's really weird. Yeah. Let us know. Unending Dawn, check it out. If you are a fan of Sekiro, definitely check it out and hope that it comes out just like me. And if you have any information on the game, please drop it down in the comments below because I am curious. I want to know where this game is, if it's still a game, and I cannot find anything anywhere. So call out to the nerdy community. Give us a hand. We'd really appreciate it.
It looks like it's got some pretty decent bosses.
Got some pretty bosses in it.
Pretty bosses.
Yeah, pretty bosses.
Like a
boss.
Have you seen that Impractical Jokers episode?
Yeah.
Where he's sitting in the conference room and then this lady's talking and all of a sudden he goes, I like a boss. And everybody's like, shut up, dude. But anyway.
Impractical Jokers is like my
it's fun.
It's like my comfort. Yeah, my comfort zone.
Yeah. Instead of eating ice cream, Dave's watching Impractical Jokers
just
while eating the ice cream.
Yeah, just pop it on loop. It's always a good time.
Yeah, it is. They always pop up on like short feed for me. I'm like, okay, now I gotta go watch like a couple episodes. So
Joey's hilarious.
Yeah, I like them all. They're so funny.
Yeah.
Sal is the funniest I think that they pick on. Like when they're picking on Sal, I think that's the most fun.
Oh, he gets real like
Yeah.
He
Especially
gets real.
things that he's scared of. Oh my gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
But all right, so like a boss. Sekiro has some really good bosses.
Indeed, they do.
All right. Do you think that Unending Dawn's gonna have some bosses?
1,000%.
Like good bosses, I mean.
Yeah.
Better than Sekiro.
That's asking a lot.
All right. Well, it's time for you to blind rank the best bosses of Sekiro.
I'm gonna make some people real mad. Hit me.
This is coming from a guy that knows absolutely nothing about any of the bosses in the game. So let's start it off here. You'll get 6 actually.
I'm getting 6.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
change it up a little bit, you know? So the first one is Owl.
Owl Father, huh?
Yeah. What does it stand for? I don't even know.
That's actually like the characters. It's pretty cool. When you do that fight, he has like an owl that he can like shoot around. That's your papa. You're fighting your papa. That's your real dad. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be a hard list, man. This is gonna be a hard list. Owl Father's so dope. That's such a dope fight. Phase 2 is crazy. I'm gonna put Owl Father at a. Ooh, I'm gonna put him at a 3.
3, smack dab in the middle.
Smack dab in the middle. I'm going chalk on Owl Father. I love the fight. I think it's a great fight, but I think the one thing that he does is he throws out the pellets that makes you not being able to use your healing gourd, and that drives me a little crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna put him at a 3.
Okay.
Any boss that takes away your ability to heal kind of frustrates me a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of infuriating. Yeah, dang, that sucks actually.
Sekiro, don't joke around, man.
I'm putting that at 6 myself. I haven't played the game. I take that back. I played the game and I got to the Cyclops. The big,
You got to the ogre.
Yeah, the big ogre. And I beat him.
Ogre Hogan. Yeah, you did.
Ogre
You beat
Hogan.
Ogre Hogan.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I should go back
Leg
to
drops
that.
and all.
Yeah. All right. Your next option here is Headless Ape.
You're dropping bangers, dude. Oh man. I don't know if I could do it this early. Could I do it this early? 2.
Okay.
I'm putting the Headless Ape at a 2.
Gotcha.
I think that fight is once you do that fight and you kind of learn how it works, it becomes very, very easy. But I think it's a real get good moment for people. The first time you roll up to Headless Ape, you get crushed. Oh boy, I must have died to that guy at least 50 times before I even figured out what was even happening. And there's like a cool little twist in the last phase. Yeah, I'm putting it at 2. That's a great fight. And the feeling that you get when you first beat him is one of those like aha moments, where you kind of finally get it.
Get the game a bit.
Yeah, it is a real get good moment. So the first time you get him, you're like, yes.
All right. Your next option here is True Corrupted Monk.
This one's kind of easy for me.
Okay.
I'm going to put him at a 6.
Oh, all the way at the bottom. Okay.
I just don't think it's a good fight. I mean, it's a good fight. Every fight in Sekiro is a good fight, but in the grand scheme of all of the bosses, I don't think it's a great fight. And I think once you learn the secret to it, it's a very trivial fight. I don't think it's very hard at all. I don't struggle on it.
Moving on to Demon of Hatred.
Oh God.
Sounds like it's hated.
Okay, I'm gonna put this one at a 5, and I know people are gonna get real angry about me doing it. This fight is a ridiculously hard fight. If you have the trophy for beating Demon of Hatred, you put in work. I'm not gonna lie, you put in work. But the thing about Demon of Hatred, it feels like a boss in the wrong game. Yeah, it just feels like they dropped like a Dark Souls boss in Sekiro. It's a good fight. It's a lot of fun. Just doesn't really belong.
Like a Wreck-It Ralph situation when Wreck-It Ralph goes into other games and causes chaos for no reason.
Yeah, it just feels like it just shouldn't be there. You know what I mean? And it's a great fight. It really is a great fight. It's a lot of fun. But like I said, it just doesn't feel like it's in the right game. Like if Demon of Hatred was in Bloodborne, I would be like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. But in the context of Sekiro, it really doesn't.
Moving on to the next one, Folding Screen Monkeys.
Oh, God.
You got 4 and 1 left.
This should be number 6 for sure. They're clearly a number 4. I think it's a very interesting fight. It's a gimmick fight. So you're not really doing anything other than just learning some patterns. And once you figure out the pattern, it takes like a few seconds to get it done. The cool thing about the fight, Adam, is it kind of plays on the speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil.
Oh,
so
yeah,
you're
that's cool.
basically running around and you're like trying to fight these monkeys, and like one of the monkeys is like one of them it gets messed up by like sounds, like there's a lot of gimmicks to it, but the main gimmick is that there's one invisible monkey that follows you around. So you can never really find him until you know the trick. And once you know the trick, it kind of makes the fight very trivial, because in the very beginning, you just turn around and stab the monkey that's, invisible and following you. And then it's like the big, I got it. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't know. It's a very gimmick fight. It should be a 6.
Well, your number 1 here, Dave, is Ishin.
Ishin Sword Saint?
Ishin Sword Saint. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ishin.
That should be number 1.
Completely did that unintentional, and I had no idea who
I
that was.
appreciate you so much because that is clearly number 1. That's the fight that I did where I broke the controller.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, now that's like the bottom of the list for me then. If I'm breaking controllers, I'm putting that guy straight to the bottom, but
I broke the controller out of joy, not out of frustration.
yeah, okay.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. All right. Let us know in the comments how you would rank those Sekiro bosses. Like bosses.
Yeah. Let us know in the comments. I'm sure you'll let me know because I
Yeah.
put some stuff in the weird spots.
Yeah. It's funny to have the comments comment, you know.
Comments be commenting.
Comments be commenting. Moving on to yet another From Software situation, Souls-like, Sekiro-like, and that is the Elden Ring movie. That's kind of cool, to be honest. And for me, I know that I don't play these types of games, and I'm gonna go into this. I've never watched the animated One Piece and never played Fallout, but I really liked the live action interpretation of One Piece. I really liked Fallout. So this might be a movie that I'll end up watching just because I liked seeing some of that adaptation into the movie realm.
Adam, I think you're gonna love this movie.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think this movie's gonna appeal to a mainstream audience, not just Elden Ring players. Yeah. I'm super excited for it, dude. I mean, honestly, the thing that I talk about all the time when we talk about Dark Souls is like the lore behind everything is so cryptic and so hidden within the game that you really have to search for it. You know what I mean? And they're not a big upfront story kind of, it's not that game. You're not getting a lot of cutscenes. You're not getting a lot of story mode. If you want to know the lore and you want to know the story, you've got to hunt for it, right? And the thing is it's very interesting to have that idea, specifically because the lore behind each of the games and all of the characters is so well done. Like the story of every single character that you run into is so well crafted. Their backstory goes back years. Like there's things that have happened in their lives. Like it's a really rich story. It's almost like every person that you meet in one of these games could be a main character, and to not have to hunt for that and bring that to the big screen and just make it a very watchable and easily consumable experience, I think is going to do so well. And then also the fact of just like translating all of these specific boss fights onto the big screen and just seeing that type of action mixed with that type of lore. It's like, this could really be a home run movie, not just for Elden Ring fans, not just for Dark Souls fans, not just for video game fans. Like this could really be a movie that kind of appeals to the masses.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Okay, hit me.
You were just explaining how in-depth the lore is and the backstories of these characters. Do you think that they're going to make it so shallow and have a lot of big Elden Ring fans disappointed in the fact that they left out these big moments and all this? Do you think that they're going to make it too compact into one movie where it's like skipping over a lot of things, like how Harry Potter fans are like, yeah, they left this little detail out of the book? Do you think that that's going to happen with this movie?
No, I actually think the exact opposite. I think there's a lot of Elden Ring players that have played Elden Ring and really don't have any idea what the story is. I think there's a lot of Dark Souls players that have played Dark Souls games and don't really know what they're doing. And that's not me saying like they don't know what they're doing because that's not me talking badly saying that they don't know what they're doing. It's like you really do have to hunt for the lore. You know what I mean? Like you have to hunt for what you're actually doing. And I think there's a lot of players that love the games to the point where they just really love the mechanics of the games. They love the fights. They love, grinding it out. They love exploring and stuff like that, that the story almost kind of gets lost. Like people don't really tend to understand the story at all when they're playing a game. So like I said, there's probably a ton of Elden Ring players that have played through the entire game multiple times and still don't know what happened, right? So if anything, I think having it put into the context of a movie where there needs to be a flowing story to keep the movie going, I think it's only going to give people more insight on what they did during the game. So like with Harry Potter, people that read the books are like, oh, you missed that, you missed that, you missed that, like, and they're upset about it. In this context, Elden Ring players are going to be like, oh my God, that's why that was like that. Or like, oh, that's why I went to that place and did that thing at that one time. It's like this was the meaning behind it because they never went to search for it. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a very interesting flip.
That makes sense because how we've talked in the past, it's a lot of these books turned into movies and games turned into movies. They also often leave a lot of things out, but the way you're explaining it, a lot of people don't really understand it anyway. And it sounds like the mass majority of people aren't going to know. And then, but for those like those people that do know the lore, you think that they're going to be just as excited, or do you think they'll kind of nitpick it a little bit more? And you think that population of people is just so low compared to the people that don't really understand the lore?
Well, I think the people that do understand the lore, and we talk about this with the comics books all the time, is like just stick with the story because the real fans that know it want to see the original story, and the fans that don't know it aren't going to know any different otherwise. George R. R. Martin is working on this movie, and he is the one that wrote the story, that wrote the lore for Elden Ring. It's funny because it was a big deal, right? I remember when Elden Ring dropped, and they were like, George R. R. Martin's working on the lore. He's working on the storyline, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be kind of cool. Like, it's gonna actually have a storyline. And then the same exact thing, Elden Ring drops, and there's like very little storyline. And we always thought it was funny that it's like, why would you bring George R. R. Martin on to write lore and storyline, and then not have lore and storyline available in the game? So like, I think, like I said, you're gonna get glimpses into kind of the lore and the storyline that he wrote for the game anyway. So with him being a part of it, I can't imagine he's going to change his story. And I think you're going to be able to see aspects of it that you most likely missed when you played the game. I don't think they're going to steer away from the what he did originally for the game. So I don't think Elden Ring players that know the story and know the lore will be upset at all.
Out of like the director Alex Garland, I enjoyed some of his movies. Where I have you seen Warfare, like the newer like movie, where I don't know, it's like a war movie, and I love war movies. But he did this movie called Warfare. I absolutely loved it, and what I've kind of read about him is he's a huge fans of these types of games, like Elden Ring and Devil May Cry, and he's done other things outside of like Warfare and Civil War that I just don't know. But it sounds like he's more of like a true fan of it. So I think it's gonna be really cool that he's doing it out of passion, not so much, oh, this is gonna a movie that's gonna make me money. That makes sense. So
Yeah, so Alex Garland did, like you said, he did Warfare, but he also did Ex Machina, Annihilation, Civil War. Like he's done some good movies, and I don't know if this is true, but he said he's on his seventh playthrough of Elden Ring right now. He's played the game all the way through 6 times and is on his seventh play. So he is very much familiarizing himself with the material, and in order to play that game 7 times, you got to be a fan. Like you gotta be a fan. You have to like it to play the game 6 times. So like you said, I think he's doing it as a passion project, right? And it's an official partnership between Bandai Namco and A24, the studio making the movie. Bandai Namco being involved with the movie. The one thing that we've seen from Bandai, they're not gonna put it out if it's not good. If it's not what they want, they're not putting it out. They would rather see their franchise die than put out something that they think does not hold the standards of the From Software collection. You know what I mean? So I think all of the stars are kind of lining up on this. Having Bandai in it, bringing in George R. R. Martin, who did the original lore, like having Alex Garland, who really loves the franchise, being able to bring all of these massive fight scenes and bosses and stuff like that to a big screen with a visual audience is going to be so sick. Explaining the lore to fans that played the game, not really knowing what they're doing, not really knowing the lore, and just having this all come together into like one kind of masterpiece. Like I am beyond excited to see what they're gonna do with this.
and for somebody that doesn't play these games, I'm excited just based off what you said because of how exciting this like off the screen is gonna or like on the screen is gonna be like these huge boss battles, epic battles. And now I'm wondering if they're gonna throw little Easter eggs in it of like dying over and over and over somehow, because like I think that'd be kind of cool. And drinking the what's the
The healing gourd. Yeah, drinking the healing gourd, and like there's gonna be a scene where the guy rolls into barrels and they all explode. Like there's gonna be the stuff in the movie. Bandai Namco from Software, they're gonna make sure that they put that stuff in the movie. And like I said, you know, the lore behind it is so good. It is criminally underrated how good it is. You know, I mean, I have books and just books and books and books on Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro lore. Just the lore itself is so good, and it lends such a it just lends itself so easily to transfer over into great storytelling that you can see on the screen. And just bringing all this stuff to like I said, you don't even really need to be a fan of these games. Like this is going to appeal to people that are just fans of fantasy. You know what I mean? Because it's a medieval setting. There's dragons, there's ridiculously big bosses, like there's creatures, there's, you know, like if you're just a fan of fantasy as a whole, you don't have to be a Dark Souls fan or an Elden Ring fan to like this movie. You just have to be a fan of fantasy. You know what I mean? And I think that audience is so big. There's no way that this doesn't, with the love from the fans and the love of just, you know, the sci-fi fantasy community. Like there's no way that this movie doesn't do well.
Elden Ring itself brought a huge new audience to the genre by itself. So I think having that new genre, or that new wave of people enjoying the genre, it's just going to push them even more into the lore of the movie, and bring outside people like me that don't play these games and never got into Elden Ring either into this fantasy, this lore of the movies. And I think it's gonna be really cool.
It's gonna be super sick. I do have one idea for the movie that I think would be really cool, and I'm not sure if oh, this isn't a hypothesis. This is a suggestion. Yeah, I think this would be real cool, and I want to hear me out because it's gonna sound kind of weird. I think that the main character in this movie, your character, that you know, represented your player within the game, I think they should have no dialogue.
Gonna have dialogue.
I think they should have no dialogue.
You just have people talk to you, like talk to the,
Yes.
like, make it seem like it's you.
No, okay, so when you play Dark Souls or you play Elden Ring or anything like this, the funny thing about it is like your character does not matter. They don't matter at all. You are just one of thousands of people that ended up in whatever situation, with like whatever, you know, scenario ended you up where you were at the right time, where you became the next one whose goal it was to, in Dark Souls, either reignite the flame or to put the flame out, or when it comes to Elden Ring, carry on this torch, or, you know. And then like your character does not matter at all. So it would be cool if they make it feel like the game where the main character doesn't really matter. And when you go throughout Dark Souls, or if you go throughout Elden Ring, you'll notice that your character never has dialogue. You never say anything to anybody, and all of the people that you meet within the game are all having these like very one-sided conversations where they're almost just kind of like picking up on your responses, right? So like I think it would be really cool if they translated that over to the movie, in the sense of like the main character themselves would have to have really good would have to have a really good physical presence to, like, you know, convey messages and stuff like that. But to have them not talk throughout the entire movie would be so much like the game, and I just think that it would be so cool if they could figure out a way to pull it off.
I think it's a big ask, but I think that's what the fans want. That's what the Elden Ring passionate people want, Dave.
I think it'd be cool if you guys could figure out a way to do it. Maybe give it a shot, see what it's looking like. But yeah, filming is set to begin. These are all rumors, by the way. Filming set to begin in 2026. I'm going to put it at a possible 2027 release based on just kind of announcement, anticipated shooting, and just kind of the typical time frame on big kind of fantasy movies like this. So typically how long it takes, I wouldn't be surprised to see it 2027. And another big thing because of this movie, rumors are Sony is working on a Bloodborne movie.
Maybe. Dave, I think Bloodborne might be something you have to give up on.
I'm not giving up on Bloodborne.
Dave, we've been talking about Bloodborne remakes and all this stuff for the last 3 years.
Bloodborne will never die.
I know it won't die, but it's not going to come back to life either.
Don't fear the old blood.
Okay. But yeah, good episode, pal.
Good episode. Real quick, we do have one more little game. I'm gonna throw this out at Adam real quick. I know I'm putting him on the spot. We'll see if we keep this. I wasn't ready for this. I was ready to end this episode. I know. Okay, so this movie is highly anticipated, right?
Is it?
It's highly anticipated by me. So I wanted to see if you. I have 8 movies here, and I wanted to see if you could guess the most anticipated movies of all time based on vocalmedia.com rankings.
Vocal Media rankings.
Don't worry about it.
Oh my gosh. How am I going to know these? Okay.
I believe in you. The most anticipated movies of all time.
Okay, how far back does this list go?
The list goes back until 1993. Nope, I lied. 1970, but
oh my gosh.
Only one. I can't give you the exact date or you'll know it.
Okay. There's some Star Wars movie.
Star Wars is number 1. 1977, the original Star Wars was number 1 on their list.
Let's go with Batman: The Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, number 7. See, you're crushing it, dude.
Avengers: Endgame.
Avengers: Endgame, number 6.
Avengers: Infinity War.
No, I will say that's the last Avengers on the list.
The Godfather.
No.
Lord of the Rings, one of them.
Yes, Lord of the Rings, 2001 on the list. You got 4 left. You're killing it.
Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows.
Harry Potter, the original Harry Potter.
The original. Dang.
I'm giving it to you. It's okay. Original Harry Potter on the list.
How many we got?
You got 3 left, and you know all 3 of them. I know you do.
So no Avengers, so like no Marvel, Marvel in general?
There's no more Marvel on the list.
Let's go with the Toy Story.
No Toy Story.
Any animated movies? Avatar.
Avatar on the list. Number 5. You got 2 and 8 left.
2 and 8. It's not gonna be any Fast and Furious movie, is it?
Nope.
No animated movies. Highly anticipated. Is it a horror movie? A horror movie in there? Ish. Not like Scream. No Scream.
Not a horror movie, but a movie that could be scary, I guess. Because of
like
the things
movie?
in it. No.
Like a zombie movie?
No.
Ghostbusters?
No.
Give me a hint. No, don't give me a hint. Okay, one more. Let me try again. So I know these movies.
You know this movie. This one is from 1993.
1993. It's not Ghostbusters.
You actually kind of talked about it already in the beginning of this episode.
Oh, Star Wars 3? Oh, no.
Because it's coming out soon.
Oh, Superman?
Nope. With the dinosaurs.
Oh, Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Oh,
Number
man.
8, Jurassic Park. Okay, you got 1 left. I know you can do it.
Not a cartoon.
No, this was
it
huge.
Disney at all?
Think Love.
Oh, the Titanic.
Titanic, number 2.
Oh, that was number 2?
Number 2.
Okay, I didn't do as bad as I thought.
You did awesome, dude. You crushed it.
Yeah, I was on a roll, and then I just some of those. I don't know. Some of them.
I put him right on the spot, guys.
Yeah,
I put him right on the spot.
I had no idea. So.
Yeah, that was good. Good episode, buddy.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I felt like we were back. That was a fun one.
We are back, better than ever. Thank you guys very, very much for coming back, checking out the videos. We super appreciate it. If you could hit the like, subscribe, all the buttons down below there. It really does help us out. Yeah, Adam, what you got for him?
Make sure to be on the lookout for some game reviews. We're trying to hit those a little bit harder. The next one I think that's going to be happening is the Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remaster. I'm excited to play those. Dave, are you going to be throwing anything out there for them?
What you mean?
I don't know. I'm just piecing together some stuff.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here hanging, guys.
Yeah, Dave's just hanging at this point, but yeah.
Good
Keep
stuff.
on the lookout for the stuff, and yeah.
Be on the lookout for all the stuff. We got reviews, we got shorts, we got single topics, we got episodes, we got everything coming your way. We love you guys very, very much. Thank you for watching, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Peace out, nerds.